Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a Montessori certified teacher from age 3 to 6, and we're going to be talking about practical life today. My kids are asleep now, so that is why my voice is kind of lowered. Let's have this practical life chat. Now, this is just a little disclaimer. Even though I do try to follow the Montessori philosophy in my home as much as possible, I am by no means 100% Montessori in my house. I'm still learning new things every day. Doing Montessori at home is very different, and it is different, and it should look different from a classroom environment. And the beautiful thing about Montessori as well is that everyone's home is going to look a little bit different, but the basic philosophy stays the same. And the Montessori philosophy is to follow the child, to respect the child, and to help the child to be as independent as possible. So that is a basic philosophy that is in Montessori homes, but every Montessori home is going to look a little different. So doing practical life in your home doesn't have to be difficult, and you don't even need to buy anything special to do this in your home. There are some things that are nice to have, like child-size broom, child-size dustpan, child-size knife for food prep. But other than that, there really isn't anything that you're going to need to buy that is special. Doing practical life in the home is just allowing the child to be as independent as possible in their everyday tasks. You're doing practical life at home with your child. It's a whole lot just like going through a typical day at home. But the only difference is that you are inviting your child to participate in those tasks that are mundane to you, but that might be fascinating and interesting to your child. So for example, instead of plopping them in front of the TV while you unload the dishwasher, you invite them to come and help unload the dishwasher, or to wash dishes, or set the table. They know that they're contributing to the home environment and the family environment, and that what they do is important. So that builds up their confidence and their independence. And it's also working on things like fine and gross motor skills and coordination of movement. Now, children tend to value what they see their parents doing. So if you save all of the cleaning until they're down for a nap and they never see you clean, they're probably not going to be too excited to, unload the dishwasher or mop up their crumbs if they don't see you doing it. So that's why I think it's important to do those things in front of your child so they can first observe you doing those things, especially at a young age before they're even capable of even helping. Like a 6-month-old can watch you go through those mundane tasks every day. And it's not going to be easier for the parent at first because children, are learning. So they're going to go slow. They're going to drop things. They're going to spill. They're going to break things. That's all just part of the learning process. We have to give them that opportunity to make mistakes in order to learn and to grow. And so it's not easier, but Dr. Maria Montessori said that it's actually an insult to the child to do something for the child that the child can do herself. And they're not just going to come out knowing how to dress themselves or pour their own water. These things are going to take a lot of repetition and practice and encouragement. And eventually they're going to be able to do these things on their own. But it does take a lot of practice and encouragement. This isn't about, forcing your child to do all these chores that they don't want to do. It's about following the child, and when they're showing an interest in doing something, allowing them to help and to do it too. So if you are folding your laundry, the child can help match the socks, and you can show them how to fold socks depending on their age. If you are unloading the dishwasher, you can take out all the sharp objects or breakable things, and they can help you unload the things that you're comfortable with them unloading. Now, my daughter is 3.5. She knows that she can help me with tasks around the house when she wants to. Sometimes she chooses not to, and that's okay. She'd rather play while I do something, and that's perfectly fine. She sees what I'm doing, and she sees me focusing my attention on something, and then sometimes she'll go and independently play and focus her attention elsewhere, which is also great. But more often than not, she does want to help me and participate in what I'm doing. But my daughter is 3.5, so there are a few things I do expect of her at this age. It's to just clear her plate and put it in the dishwasher or the sink, wipe the table where she ate, and sweep up any crumbs underneath her table, She is expected to get dressed on her own. I don't just tell her, go get dressed, and then she does it. She wouldn't do that. I do have to kind of be there to verbally prompt her in getting dressed, but I won't physically like help her. I'll help her pick out her clothes, give her a choice between two outfits that she wants to wear. I still have to kind of orient the pants for her the right way and show her where the tag is, so then she knows that that's the way to put her pants on. She needs help still, or like not help, but I'll remind her to pull her arms out of her shirt, take the shirt up over her head. Sometimes the shirt will get stuck on her head and she needs help pulling it down over her head. So that's expected that she's gonna do that and put her own socks and shoes on when we leave the house. We have a little child-size hook by her door. If it's cold, she has a jacket that she can put on. And the way that young children can put on a jacket is that they lay the jacket on the floor and then they stand upside down to the jacket. So they stand by the hood and they put their arms through the jacket while it's on the floor, and then they flip it over their head. And so this is a way that young children can learn to put their jacket on independently at a very young age. And so she'll put the jacket on, and when we come back inside, she takes it off and hangs it up on the hook and puts her shoes in the closet. So those are the things that I expect of her. Oh, and that she brushes her teeth, but she's only 3.5. She can't completely brush her teeth on her own, but I expect her to do it first, and then I go back in there and brush after to make sure she gets all the spots. But then the invitation is always there to, put the silverware away, put her clean clothes away, and also when she gets undressed, she puts her clothes in the hamper, the dirty hamper. After using the bathroom too, like she washes her hands. We have stools that fold up for easy storage, and she'll just take a stool out, stand up, and wash her hands. She likes to help match the socks, and when we're putting socks away. Also, young children can help with putting wet clothes into the dryer and then unloading the dryer. A little squirt bottle that I have for her that I fill with water and vinegar, so it's a safe cleaning product for her, and she will clean the tables and the cabinet sometimes if I'm doing that. She likes to wash dishes. She'll pull a chair up and she'll help me just get down and dirty and wash dishes. Of course, water gets everywhere, so it's washing dishes. But again, when we allow children to do things independently, it is a little bit more work for the parents in the beginning. But the child is learning to be a capable individual. They're building up their confidence, and they are able to contribute to the family, which is very important for young children. Children at this age can prepare their own snack. I recommend having a spreader so they can spread their own jelly and peanut butter. They can peel their own clementine. I also recommend a dull child nut-sized knife. So they can cut their own bananas for their cereal, or cut, carrots for dinner. It doesn't cut like raw carrots, but if you cook the carrots, they could cut them. I recommend an apple slicer so they can, slice their own apples for snack. A little basket in our cabinet that has all of her personal practical life items. We have a spreader, a dull knife, a apron for her to wear, pitchers for her to pour water into her cup, her cups, her plates, so she can set the table and set her spot. And learning to set the table is a great practical life work. How to properly set the table and look where the forks and spoon goes. And they have placemats that will show the child where to put their fork, dull child-sized knife, plate, and cup. So those are great for helping the child in the beginning to learn how to set the table. They can cut kiwis, use a little pitcher to pour milk into their cereal in the morning if they eat cereal. So these are all things that they can do day in and day out independently on their own and feel very capable. Food prep is one of our most favorite area in our house. My daughter just loves preparing her own food. She is more likely to try different foods when we prepare foods together. For the longest time, she wouldn't eat sweet potato. I don't know why. I think sweet potato is delicious, but she wouldn't eat sweet potato. And we prepared it one day, and she just tried it when we were preparing it. And she didn't do that before, and she decided that she likes sweet potato now, but she didn't used to like sweet potatoes. Cooking with your child really just introduces them to different foods, and they're more likely to try them if they have prepared it themselves. This doesn't always work, as my 3-year-old, for some reason, just got really picky with eating, but she is more likely to try something when she's preparing it and cutting it and slicing it than she would if I just did it for her and put it on her plate. Plant care is a great area as well. If you have any plants in your home, they can help to water the plants and take care of the plants. We like growing some herbs, so we water the herbs and give her some scissors and she'll cut the herbs when they're ready.
Another thing that I forgot to mention is a pet care. So my daughter will feed our dog in the morning, and it just depends on your dog's temperament, but this dog is a sweet girl, so it's safe for my daughter to feed her.
Yeah, so all these activities are just very meaningful for your child. Because Dr. Maria Montessori worked in a school in a really poor area in Rome, and she provided the children with toys and real activities. And what she observed was that children actually preferred the real activities over the toys. So they got more meaning from actually doing real life activities. Children are very capable of doing more than the adult thinks they can do when given an opportunity to do it. And I notice as well that if you just do something for your child all the time, like my husband for the longest time would just like put my child's like pajamas on for her. In there one day, like he didn't do it on purpose, like he's just not thinking about it. But I walked in there and she literally just laid down, like put my clothes on for me, like just like a lump, laying down, like, and like this is a girl that dresses herself every single morning, and she just laying down. I'm like, wow, like what is going on here? No, you can put your own clothes on. So that just showed me that when we do things for our child, then they're just gonna give up and not even try, not do it for themselves. So I think that's why it's really important to just expect. I think if you expect more from them, they will deliver more, and it's not going to be something that happens overnight. Like I said, it's a lot of repetition, a lot of practice, continuously, giving them opportunities to do these things, and it's really just going to help them to be confident, capable individuals, and we all want that for our children. And I think a lot of times people think like Montessori, they think like all these expensive, fancy materials, which are in the classrooms, right? You can't have an authentic Montessori classroom without all those materials, which are wonderful learning tools. But in the home, it's completely different, because you can follow the Montessori philosophies of following your child, respecting your child, helping them to be independent and capable individuals without having to buy any fancy Montessori materials. That's why I like Practical Life so much in the home, because you don't need anything fancy. And a lot of materials and things you can make on your own. And so you don't need these fancy things to do Montessori in your home, and especially Practical Life, which I think if you were going to not do anything else, Montessori, Practical Life would be what you'd want to do. And that would be very helpful and beneficial to the child. Thanks for joining me on this tea time chat. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.